Hello and welcome back to another edition of FlowState. I hope everybody's doing fantastic, calm, centered, collected. We're dropping in a little later than usual. I figured we can capture some of this incredible evening light. Well, I guess it's late afternoon. Regardless, it's fucking gorgeous. I'm double dipping on trash duty at the moment. Fortunately, it's on the way. Let's see if we get this. All right. Sorry. Now we're in it. Now we're in the flow. I was actually just thinking, part of the concept of this podcast series is that I turn the camera on and tap into the kind of higher consciousness to start pulling from various ideas and themes. Some days flows more than others, or flow more than others. Today, I'm feeling a little drained. I did a pretty intense training session this morning. I was at the gym at 6 and did my normal 20-minute stair climber session, starting out at resistance of 9 and then ending on 12. I can tell you that machine is absolutely insane. It will kick your ass. I am drenched with sweat after that, and part of the reason I love it is because it hits your calves and your legs and your quads really well. It's essentially, you're going upstairs, but with a little resistance. I don't even know how that works. I guess it's speed. It's not resistance. And so the purpose of that is to get my blood pumping, my heart rate elevated, and you do feel there's nothing like cardio to reset your body, mind, spirit, and there's just a release of endorphins that just floods my body, and I just cannot get enough of it. I seek out cardio more than anything. Although I do love resistance training. I think it's just one of the greatest feelings, especially after you have built up some, Tia, come on, buddy. We're not going to be, there's another little dog. Especially after you've been doing it for a while and your muscles feel like they can support more weight. You've put in some time building up a good practice, you're committed, and things will just settle in for you, and it just feels so good. Getting started with cardio is going to be way more challenging, especially if you're not adapted to doing any kind of cardio. I mean, even walking, for that matter. If you put a little incline on a treadmill, for example, at a slow cadence, that differential will have a profound impact on how much energy you need. And if you're not accustomed to exerting yourself, you're going to feel it. And I think it's an amazing feeling to be engaged in cardio as part of your health and wellness practice. Cardiovascular health is so important. VO2 max is one of the key markers for longevity and overall high quality life by about 400%, meaning that there is a 400% decrease in all-cause mortality from being or having a high VO2 max versus a low VO2 max. Another one to, whoa. This car is going crazy. Another one is strength. The difference in strength between, the difference in being strong and being weak as time goes on is about a 250% difference. So meaning that if you're strong and healthy, you have a high VO2 max, the reduction in all-cause mortality is up to 250%, which is absolutely amazing. We spoke about this on the last podcast, and I'm just blown away by those metrics. Peter Attia is my source on this, and I believe him to be a very trustworthy source. You should definitely take a look. I'm sure there's a lot of overlap between you guys and Peter Attia's channels and his work, as he is one of the top physicians in the space for longevity, seeing patients on a regular basis, and also creating really high impact, high value content, like Andrew Huberman, for example, with regards to all kinds of different things. I'm sure you're familiar with him as well. Anyways, it's important to develop a practice of health and wellness as early in your life as possible, so that over time the shit just compounds, and that you're able to keep up with life in general, keep up with your kids, if you have kids, and their grandkids, to be able to live into the next generation. There's nothing greater. Again, I know I spoke about this last time, but for whatever reason, I'm feeling called to reinforce some of these principles, because for me on my journey over the past 7 years, where I was overweight, unhappy, not really understanding my own body and being comfortable in my own skin. Yeah, sure, it was a lot of fun to hang out, get fucked up, go party, blah, blah. It's like, but that is a, that is a escape from feeling raw emotion, and then learning from it and learning how to cope and learning how to then take action on it and feel it firsthand, as opposed to then default to alcohol and drugs or food, TV, Netflix, whatever your poison is. It's the solution to your problem. It is not addressing the underlying problem, right? But it's the solution to your problem. It's not a healthy solution. It's not a beneficial solution, but it's the solution nonetheless. So it's something to be paying attention to at all stages of life. I know that there's clearly, for most people, a period in their life where they're just like, I don't give a fuck, go out, party, this, that, and the other thing. And I guess what I've realized is that there's a time to grow up. There's a time to tap into your potential. And if you keep dipping in to vices, it's not going to end well. If you play by the numbers, sure, there are outliers. There are people that smoke and do drugs all the way up to whatever age, if you consider like Keith Richards. But it's kind of interesting, it just popped into my mind. So anyways, his autobiography is fantastic. I highly recommend it. And I love audiobooks, so I ingested that on Audible, which was brilliant, because he got his friend Johnny Depp to narrate a part of it, and then I forget he narrated it as well, which was amazing. I wish he would have done the whole thing, but it was mostly Johnny Depp, and then I forget the other person who did it, but phenomenal. Anyways, part of what his strategy is only do the highest quality shit that you can find. Don't be buying stuff off the street, etc. And I think that contributed to the fact that he's still alive. He's also very active and kept pretty clean for the most of his life, not with regards to drugs and alcohol and that kind of thing. But I mean, there was a time also where he stopped taking hard drugs, and I don't know how. I mean, it's like was like 80 years old or some crazy thing like that. So anyways, that's an exception, right? And I think the lifestyle, the mentality might have supported him and his longevity and his extreme use of substances, but that's not the case for the vast majority of people. You will develop all kinds of issues. I mean, you know, the opposite of that would be like Hunter S. Thompson, for example, who ended up killing himself after, you know, decades of heavy fucking substance abuse. And, you know, you can find his schedule online, which was, you know, totally bonkers. The amount of alcohol and drugs that were required to have his system work function, you know, properly as he saw it, would, like, you know, kill a small village. And, you know, not for the faint of heart, let's say. So anyways, my point is that of course you can always find people, you know, one more example. On my wife's side, her grandmother lived to like 90 something, and, you know, she was living out in the country in Ohio and was, you know, very active, different generation, farm oriented. And even though they may not have had the best diet, you know, I don't remember if she smoked. I don't think she ever drank. It's possible they smoked. I don't know. It's possible that they didn't. I don't really remember. But they weren't like conscious about their health, their mental health, their physical health. They were just living life in an old way of living, which served them really well up until a very respectable age, where, you know, eventually the shit just stops working. You know, if you've lived a long enough life, you're going to ultimately have some challenges. And the idea behind having a complete and full life is to mitigate those challenges as much as possible, because your quality of life is the thing that is going to make the biggest difference when you start getting older. And to not have your eye on the prize when you're young and you could actually do something about it, I mean, even, first of all, it's never too late to start. I know that some people that are tuning in are in their 60s, and I would say it's never too late. It's never too late to have an optimistic view and to have mindful intentions around supporting your health and your mental health. I think, you know, those are not necessarily the same approach, but they are both so vital to long-term success with mitigating the vast majority of issues and challenges that come up for people that don't take care of themselves and end up with all these problems in life that essentially require prescription medicine as a means of intervention. And that is not something I'm interested in. I want nothing to do with that, and I wish that for you as well. And part of it is starting now, starting today, or if you are already quite active and committed to a health and wellness flow, that you double down on it, you make an oath to yourself, and you seek tools of refinement in order to amplify the work that you've already put in. This extends deep into nutrition, because nutrition is really where the kind of difference is made. As far as I'm concerned, if it comes in a box, it's poison and it's slowly killing you. Now that might, that might be a kind of an extreme situation or an extreme position, But I think this is where we're at in our society. And if you're not willing to take a stand on yourself, then it's going to slowly erode into nothing over time. So you don't want to be creeping up 50, 55, 60, and starting to feel like your bones are aching and all this kind of shit just because you didn't pay attention, just because you didn't look far enough into the future and you didn't take action when you should have. And so that's the whole point of this, is to take action and to, wow, there's actually people here. Sorry, I may have to drop out of this conversation to address Tiga. Hopefully he behaves well. It's just part of it. So the point is, let me just run by these guys here. Hola. Bien. All right, okay, that was good. Set up a good location for the shoot. Want to make sure to capture this beautiful light, so I'm feeling not rushed, but I want to execute my plan so that I can capitalize on this greatness here. All right, cool. So I'm going to drop out, splice in my promo for the 10 steps to everyday action. I hope you've already downloaded it. If not, check the description and take action now. I'll see you guys very soon. If you're looking to create lasting change in your life, I've got something for you. A 91-day journey broken down into simple, powerful steps to get you there. I created the 10 steps to everyday action to guide you towards your goals, whatever they may be. But it doesn't end with the download. When you sign up, you'll also receive a 19-part email series spread out over 3 months, designed to guide you with real actionable steps. Each email is crafted to inspire, challenge, and support you as you progress daily. This isn't just any email sequence, it's a structured journey. You'll dive into topics such as setting meaningful goals, building resilience, creating a balanced life, and much more. Each email is packed full of exercises that fit into your day-to-day, keeping you moving forward without overwhelming you. Are you ready to take the first step? Download the 10 steps to everyday action using the link in my bio, or drop a comment and I will send it to you. Let's start this journey together and make these next 91 days count. All right, we're back. I hope you took that opportunity to sign up for the 10 steps to everyday action. You get the downloadable ebook, and then you're off to the races for a 3-month email journey that I guarantee will incite fire in you to enact positive and lasting change. It's not about this quick hack bullshit or another downloadable checklist, whatever. This is about real work. You need to show up ready to do the work. I'm personally only interested in working with people who are ready to do the work. This development, internal development, takes work, takes courage, takes dedication in yourself to be better, to do better, to live better. It's not such an easy thing to do. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody's gonna come to the table with their own shit. They're gonna come packed with resistance. It's a challenge to break down those walls, especially if you're dealing with substance abuse problems, right? Because those are the solution to your problem, but they don't address the, oh boy. They don't actually address the real underlying problem, which is where our work will start. Whoa. I'm still so blown away by this just rugged beauty as I walk past a tire washed up on shore, right? The natural wonder of this planet is just so incredible, and to squander the experience of being out in nature, connecting to the earth as regularly as possible, is a missed opportunity. It's something that you really need as part of your ongoing commitment to enrich yourself with a better life. It's vital to connecting to the land in a way that will give you energy, will give you purpose, will calm your mind, especially if you live in a city or a large town or whatever, because a park, although a really, really important thing to have access to, is not at all what I'm talking about. Even if you have to drive hours, you just do whatever it is that you need to do to get out in nature, to disconnect, hopefully without a phone or other electronic. However it is that you can do it, you should take advantage of it, because it truly is a powerful vehicle for change. It's humbling, inspiring. Camping in whatever way, form you want, but from where I stand, being disconnected from electronics is definitely the goal. I think technology is vital to our existence and our contribution ongoing, but I also know that it's detrimental to our mental health, especially young children. And as adults who grew up without a cell phone, I mean, I remember pagers. I remember the first, flip phone, the OG Motorola Razr. It was like $1,300 or something back then. It's like a fucking house today if you count inflation. I don't know how hard I'm gonna attack this return home. It's the second time I've been down here today, actually. Well, not all the way down, but I came down with my kids before school and after my training. They love it down here. Getting them connected to nature is so important. Getting them moving, getting their heart pumping. My youngest was saying after coming down here the other day how her legs were sore. I said, good. That means your body is utilizing muscles and moving in different ways than it has used to. And the solution is that you keep going. You never stop moving. Look at it this way. I'm talking to you now. If you stop moving, you die. It's plain and simple. I'm sure you know someone who is sedentary. I mean, really, not just like in an office for 8 hours a day sitting on their chair. I mean, like they worked their whole life for someone else, gave up so much. You know, this word sacrifice, I'll definitely apply to that scenario. And then to give it all up after retirement and just sitting and doing nothing. That is a death sentence. That will erode your mental toughness. You need to stay strong. You need to stay active. You need to constantly work on deepening the relationships in your life. Focus on eating clean, supporting the work that you're doing that's in alignment with your values and goals. At any age, it's never too late. You know what? It is too late when you die. That's it. So you have a choice. You have a choice to either take advantage of this one precious life, or you could just fold your cards. You're here because you choose life. You're here because you choose vitality. You're here because you want deep relationships lasting throughout your entire life, supporting in collaboration to empower, enrich, and elevate the human experience for you, your family, and friends. Before you can even offer support to others, you need to make sure it's coming from the right place. You need to make sure you're in alignment with why you're doing that. In other words, you got to get your shit in order before you can help others. I'm reminded of a podcast I heard like 5 years ago or something. And it's a little bit fuzzy, but basically it was like, this guy was leading retreats on alleviating trauma and doing some other work in that vein. And when he was leading a large retreat, and it was very noble. I forget all the nuance, but my memory is that when he showed up to do this honorable deed, which he had organized in partnership with other people who were, let's say, not shamans or things of that nature, but borderline, you know, not like per se plant medicine, but just wise beings that have been practicing this kind of choreographed release of trauma and different energy and other things. And so we'll just use the word shaman now because, I mean, that's essentially what they were, I guess. So they show up, and the guy who is on the shaman side, one of the support people, was like, "You can't be here." And this I remember. He's like, "What do you mean I can't be here?" It's like, "You can't be here. You have all of this unresolved energy and trauma that is very easily transferable to all these very vulnerable people, these people who are here for deep and profound reasons. It's not as though the person leading it was struggling, but it just goes to show you that you need to be centered, grounded, connected before you can offer up yourself in service to others. Which is why I'm starting this project now, after my 7-year journey that kickstarted on this island that we're on now in the Atlantic Ocean. I was a real mess. Not with like drugs and alcohol, although I was drinking, you know, socially and whatever, and I appreciated a good cocktail, and smoking a lot of weed and, you know, other kind of drugs and stuff. But I never really saw it as like I had issues that I needed to deal with. I had challenges in my life. I was just kind of floating. And now I see it as unconscious behavior, just constantly reacting to things as opposed to responding, as opposed to having intention in what I did, not as a kind of cog in the wheel of life. I didn't even realize that I was embarking on this journey until I had made that commitment to myself to lose weight, just to get a little bit healthier. In fact, I set out on a 10-year goal. But my journey really didn't start until a couple years in, when things became clearer to me, when I started really progressing with my health and wellness, losing a little weight, getting leaner, getting stronger, increasing my VO2 max, running and swimming, started intermittent fasting. I've always been fascinated with food, and I cook a lot, and I'm very passionate about food in general. But that was what it was. It was food. It wasn't a deep understanding of nutrition and the impact that it can have. I mean, I always knew the difference between eating processed food and not processed food, and, you know, holistic sourcing and regenerative agriculture processes, but not to the level that I do today. And certainly not as it relates to the way I feel and my intention behind my daily life as a practice, not as a reaction to a bunch of shit that's going on, but with intention, calm, clarity, and focus. That part was difficult because it doesn't happen overnight. And in many ways, the development of this now has taken at least 7 years of testing and refinement, learning and putting into practice the things that I've learned, and doing the work. You must do the work. If you are consuming this and not taking action, oh shit. Tiga, come here, buddy. If you're consuming this and not taking action, it's entertainment. Tiga, come here. Hold on. Okay, good. Safety first. If you're just dropping in to these conversations now, and you know deep down there's something not right in your life, you're not in alignment, you're not waking up full of exuberance and blissed out, and taking ownership of all your actions, you know what to do. You know exactly what to do. It's time for you to take action. The simple act of creating intention and having a moment of clarity before succumbing to unconscious behavior is that first step. It's going to take deep practice and a commitment, a long-term vision of what you want and where you're headed before things will start to settle inside you, before you start feeling a little bit more relaxed about time in general. Life is one big game. You can either play by someone else's rules or you can create your own. And you live by your rules. The impact of that choice alone is profound. Oh, man, what a beautiful evening. Moving your body after you eat your food is vital to stimulating digestion, increasing blood flow, and activating what has hopefully been a nutrient-dense feast, which will then fuel you for hours to come. I know you, I see you, I understand the struggle because I was there. It's like torture. And I'm grateful that you're here dropping in with me. And I can feel you thinking and processing. The next step is simple: take action. You can download the 10 steps to everyday action as a foundation for what to do next. You can stop this podcast right now and go outside for a walk. Come back and revisit. Wow, that truck had a huge amount of cinder blocks in the back. It sounded like that thing was in first gear. Oh, man. I'm here in service to support you on your journey so that you can be in service to others, not only yourself. The difference you can make in someone's life is profound. The difference you can make on your own life is profound. And your own life's journey is a holistic expression of your identity, getting clear mentally, physically, in alignment with your career, whatever that is. There's a path forward for you to be empowered by your actions, rooted in your values and goals. That to me is authenticity. Speaking your mind, not concerning yourself with other people's positions, opinions, judgment, of which they are for sure projecting onto you. But it's their own insecurities. It's like bullies. Okay, bullies are people who need help. They need support, they need guidance. They are deeply hurting inside, which is why they're lashing out. It's like a child having a temper tantrum because they're flooded with all kinds of emotions and they don't know how to process or handle or even understand what's happening. It could be as simple as being hungry or being tired, not having had enough sleep, or, it's like we really do not remember a lot of what it was like to be a child going through these trials and tribulations of growing up and not having clarity of understanding and what it means to be even alive. Like, there's so much growth and development that takes place. And I'm experiencing that chapter in my life with my two children. And it's just a profoundly beautiful, humbling gift to be able to share with them and support them in their development. A book that I brought into our family dynamic early on is called The Four Agreements. I cannot recommend this book enough. It is very easy to read, translated into all kinds of languages. This is a great foundation for children, for adults at any age. Always try your best. Be impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. And I forgot the fourth one. As you could probably tell, my battery's dying. I need to get home, which I'm about to arrive from an incredible day full of energy, depletion, and activation and nourishment, and I'm about to feast. Oh, I am so done. Thanks so much for dropping in. I love you. See you next time.